Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Pierce the Veil for Frank checking in from Bloomingdale this morning. Frank and everybody in Bloomingdale, that song's for you. Appreciate you listening this morning to Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, so much to get into this weekend as I'm afraid to look at my bank account at a little over $500 now at this point of tickets bought for 4 White Sox games, including the one in Detroit. Congrats to Katie, who got to Detroit and see the White Sox become the worst baseball team of all time, without question. And my wife, who threw in $200 for her to enjoy a hotel room out there in Detroit, and then come back next morning, and then where they won the game. So it's wonderful, and it was a relief for me because we were trying to figure out last minute how we could keep people there in Detroit to buy more tickets to see the games. And then it turns out as they didn't lose those games on Saturday and Sunday because the Tigers clinched on Friday, so I figured they're just coasting through the weekend at that point. But Jerry Reinsdorf put out a message to the fans. He wrote a long letter, and it went something like this, at least the most important part of the letter. I want to thank you for continuing to support the team throughout what was an embarrassing season. You all deserved better. This season's performance was completely unacceptable, and the varying reactions and emotions from our fan base are completely understandable. Mm-hmm. Does that sound like anything changing next to your case for your White Sox?
No. It reminds me of when their GM, Chris Getz, said on a White Sox broadcast, I don't think we're going to be that aggressive in free agency this offseason. It's the same energy. It's just,
I don't think that's his fault, though, because if they're like, we're not giving you money, what is he supposed to do?
Maybe spend the billions that he has?
Well, she means on the guy that said that, not that Jerry Reinsdorf has to release some money.
We're not giving you anything. He's going to go out there and be like, we're not going to do anything. I mean, that's like killing the messenger. You don't think he would love to have tons of money and just buy everybody?
I love it if Reinsdorf went to you. Listen, man, $100,000. That's all I got this year. It's been a tough year. We got to do a little belt tightening around here. What kind of players can you find for $100,000?
I'm sorry. I own 2 professional sports teams. I don't have that much money. I don't know what you want from me.
Well, they cost a lot to maintain, Case.
Mm-hmm. They make a lot of money, too.
Yeah.
So it's like you have a lot of them, and then it's a whole thing.
How disappointing is it that today the Bulls report the training camp? Ugh. And there's no real...
They're training already?
Yeah.
The season starts in a month.
Yep.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I picture it in, like, January.
Nope.
Are they already going to be running around?
Yeah, they're already going to be running around.
Wow.
And you don't have to watch till January. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I won't.
Well, it'll be very difficult with unless you have DirecTV, you won't be able to see it with the new network, the Chicago Sports Network, or get an HD antenna, and then you can watch it that way. Also, with the Cubs, it's kind of got overshadowed with all the stuff over the weekend with the Cubs and their final series as well. That could be the last time we see, Liam Hendricks in a Cubs uniform, the last remaining member of the 2016 World Series roster. And his last start. And it's very sad. And I get we're not there anymore, and the moves that were made were mostly right. I mean, I would like to have Kyle Schwarber still on the squad. But Liam Hendricks had a rough year. And he, the prof, I mean, he was such an ace for so long. And we may have seen the last of that 2016 team for good here. But let's leave on a positive with your Chicago Bears, of course, pulling out victory from the jaws of defeat with the first part of that game. Man, there was like 6 penalties by the second quarter. And, just to live in the moment, feel our montage of yesterday's game in 50 seconds. It gives you everything you need.
When the offense has struggled, the defense has come alive. Montez Sweat knocked it free. Kyler Gordon comes out with it in Rams territory. The mini fridge. Kramer, the fullback. The give to Johnson. And the Bears have tied the game after the takeaway. Rams bring an extra body. Williams protected. Williams to the back of the end zone for DJ Moore. And a touchdown. Their first connection together.
In the face!
Tempo again as Swift gets going. There goes DeAndre Swift for his first Chicago Bears touchdown. 63 seconds and no timeouts. Stafford unloads, hit as he throws. Ball game. Brisker. Bears win.
The Bears.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren will have some Oasis coming up here right around the top of the hour. And let's recap what we broke about 3 hours ago, close to it anyway, at 7 o'clock with Brian and Kenzie on Q101 when I actually broke it even earlier than planned. So The Oasis returning to Chicago for the first time since 2008. Oasis live at Soldier Field. This is the 2025 tour, of course. So we knew about all the UK dates. We had a hint that some were coming to America, and they are, but not many. You've got Toronto, New York, Chicago, and LA.
That's awesome.
That's it. And one show at Soldier Field. That's it. So this is going to get wild.
Oh, listen, a lot of out-of-towners at the show. That's what that means.
We're gonna block them out with our elbows. They can't get in. This is our show.
You're going to elbow people?
Anybody that can't show me their Illinois driver's license or Indiana, or we'll do Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Yeah, be fair.
They can all come.
The same thing is if you're eligible for Tyler Joseph in the lounge, because we've had calls from all across the globe, we're not going to elbow you at the Oasis show.
Listen, and we're not trying to be rude.
No, this is fair.
It's just that, like, we have people from other countries trying to win, and it's like, that's awesome, and I get it.
Right.
However, we would like to reward those who spend time listening to our show, not who are like, I'm just here for Tyler Joseph, go F yourself. It's like, well, that's not what we're doing.
That was the bounce back text that Kenzie put up.
Yeah.
From out-of-town area codes.
You're going to answer a
619 area
questionnaire
code.
about Brian and I. What's Brian's wife's name?
Yeah, we will quiz you because this is that big, obviously. And you can also, so every day at 7 o'clock, we're going to qualify somebody for a chance at floor tickets to that show at Soldier Field. Floor tickets. But you can also have a chance at floor tickets by texting BROTHERS with an S at the end, BROTHERS to 312-591-8300. All the information at Q101.com and all of our socials on Facebook and Instagram. But this is wild. This is incredible. And cannot wait for the show, obviously. And to see how it's going to play out once they do Soldier Field and come through here, which is a ways off, obviously. It's almost a year away. So it's August 28th at Soldier Field. But I can't wait to see what else is going to be coming up with this show. But right now, this is it. This is it. So listen every morning at 7 a.m. with Brian and Kenzie and Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and Lauren coming in, and she does have some Oasis on the way as we made that announcement at 7 o'clock. All the information at Q101.com, our Facebook, our Instagram about the breaking news right here at 7 a.m. that we released to you. And be here tomorrow at 7 a.m. for your chance to go see Oasis next year at Soldier Field, one of only 4 shows announced this morning worldwide in America and Canada. I always forget that.
And Mexico City.
Was Mexico City announced too?
It was. So there's 5
Well,
shows.
that's
but
bomb as hell. Go to Mexico.
they're all in North America, though, so you're half right.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. What?
Fine, Kenzie, go to Mexico City and see
Yay,
Oasis.
it'll
Knock
be
yourself
toasty.
out.
Now, you could just take the train from Elgin to Soldier Field. It'd be a little... Now,
I thought you were going to say there's one to Mexico City. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I've never seen that ever. What are the odds?
I would pay you like a...
What? How much would you pay me? Enough to go to Mexico City?
I just realized I'm broke right now from the White Sox tickets I bought for listeners last
Why do
week.
you sound like Tiffany Henry?
But I'd love
You
to.
started this.
I'd love to see you transfer trains to get to Mexico City from here. That would.
If you pay me enough to get there to enjoy my trip, I will.
At this point, where my bank account is, I'm willing to go as high as $75.
What's going to cost more than that to get to Mexico City?
I know you got to supply the rest. That's all I'm willing to do today. That's all I'm willing to do.
This is unfair.
I'm doing Pawn Star.
Your hands are tied. What can you do?
That's all I'm willing to do.
Yes.
I call an expert, do the whole thing. Chumley's the best I can do.
Oh, all right, takeaways, Case. What do you got?
All right, well, Kylie checked in, and she has my takeaway as well, which is that the audio from the Jane's Addiction scuffle will haunt her for the rest of her life.
Wow. You're used to hearing that now and then here on the show. Kenzie, what do you got takeaway?
Okay, ride with me on this one because it's long, but I love it. Herm texted in takeaway. It's a hard world out here in these mean streets. Not only as a mayor can you not probably steal millions of dollars from taxpayers, but you also can't live rent-free? What an eye-opener.
Wow. Tiffany Hedger just keeps breaking rules. And finally, Katie checked in, who was our winner, who I ended up buying tickets for the Tigers game in Detroit, the White Sox-Tigers game, where Tigers clinched and White Sox became the worst team in Major League Baseball history. And she says this. Oh, this is so nice. Katie, getting to talk to you for 2 days in a row was beyond memorable. Truly will never forget being in Detroit to watch the White Sox make history. Thanks again, guys. Love, love, love Q101 and the morning crew. Katie, your favorite HR girl, Katie from Bourbonnais. Wow.
Aw,
Thank
love
you. Made it all worth it, despite bologna sandwiches for lunch this week and dinner. Case, what is coming up on the podcast?
Well, we learned this morning that the Domino's menu causes Brian a great deal of strife. He wants them to stay in their lane. They refuse to do so.
No balls.
No balls with the Domino's menu. Obviously, we have all the Oasis info you need. If you just joined us, you can figure it out on the Brian and Kenzie podcast when they're coming to Chicago, how you can get tickets from us, and when that is going to be all week long. And we have the exclusive Jane's Addiction audio from their fight, the Perry Farrell mic feed, which sound a little bit like this. If you want to hear more of that, the Brian and Kenzie podcast has a full breakdown of that Jane's Addiction fight. It's like a true crime story the way we did it. We really have so much more info now on what happened that night, and you need to know that info.
Go check out the Brian and Kenzie podcast at Spotify and Apple, and of course, on the Q101 app.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.